Hello and welcome. Today we're going to look into the missing people in the new Five Nights at Freddy's security breach. That's right, I'm going to talk about the new security breach game that came out. We've been playing it on the channel, and there's some stuff that I think we need to go over, and honestly, I think it's something that Matt Pat from Game Theory may need to take a closer look at because he knows more about the lore than I do, but from what I'm seeing, something is very sinister of what happened, and I think it's worth investigating. But before we dive into everything, do me a favor, hit that red subscribe button. Like, share this video out. If you know someone that's all up to date on Five Nights at Freddy's and into the game, loves the game, share this with them because they might appreciate the digging we've done to try and figure out what happened to these 9 kids. Anyway, I am Cindershadow, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, well, in the game Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, we play as the character Gregory, which is right below me here. He's a little boy. He seems to be about 13 to 14 years old, ultimately, and he's running around, and the questions on if he's a boy or a robot is out there. He may be an animatronic, but there is suggestions that he is neither here nor there. I actually put up a post on the Game Theory subreddit, and it's gaining a little bit of traction. So if you guys do me a favor, go out there and maybe boost this up even more. Maybe Matt Pack can pick this up and talk about it a little bit. The missing 9 kids in security breach. 1 is a family of 3 and 7 were kids. And what am I talking about here? Well, there's a bunch of pictures in what is known as the Afton family room, and that's a room where there's 5 robots standing around a table, and these 5 robots standing around a table are indicative of the Afton family: the mom, the dad, and the 3 kids. One of the kids being the crying child, which is everything that's tying this together right now, and then his sister and brother. And there's a lot of questions that are arising from that, but we're not looking at that part in this. We're looking at the missing kids. In the end of the first bad ending that you get, if you go out the main entrance of the game, you get the bad ending for Gregory. You can see he's running away. He escapes the place. He's running very, very fast and frantically, trying to get away from it. But then he settles down in a cardboard box just a little bit away from the location. And I'll stop the frame here. This frame in particular is showing that there is 9 missing people. I say people because they're not all kids. I believe there's 2 adults that went missing in this scenario as well. There's a lot of talk that this kid down here in the bottom left, where my mouse is right now, a lot of people believe that is Gregory. Now, there is contention here. Gregory is not found in Freddy's system, in Vanessa's systems. He is not found in the whole arcade. Like, he's non-existent. He hasn't had his photo taken, so he doesn't have a photo pass. It's one of the fetch quests that you need to do first thing at the very beginning of the game. You need to go out and find a photo pass for him, which is ultimately they take your photo, they put it on a pass, and you show it, and you get access to certain things in the park. But Gregory is not part of that. And if he's not part of that, and even with the facial recognition that Freddy scans him with, I believe those, if I remember this correctly, they are linked up to some sort of database. Now, there is ways that this is possibly where he's not there, and part of it is the ongoing method that Fazbear Entertainment, as the company, is trying to cover up the disappearances and of the kids of the past, and it's just a continuation of that storyline. This is something that is well known in the lore, that they're trying to cover things up. They say a gas leak happened and everything goes away. Anyway, this continues right? Where it shows this and it says, missing residents continue to disappear. And in other endings, they have the newspaper article after the credits. And in those other endings, they also say, blah, 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 blah. This means nothing, blah, 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 blah. This means nothing to the lore, nothing like that. Where this one does not say that. So this is something to do with the lore of the game. And I think it's well worth talking about. And it's to understand what is actually going on here. So they show 9 photos, obviously the 9 photos of the kids that are missing, or the people that are missing. I really shouldn't say kids because they're not all kids. And then at the very end of this, he actually still gets captured by Vanny, which is one of the main protagonists or villains in the game. And it's also a 1-star ending. So this is the bad ending. This is the worst ending you can get. And I don't think there was anything after the credits on this one. This is the other thing. After the credits, there is nothing on this video whatsoever, where most of the other endings have an after credits scene as well. Well, what is going on here? I made a post into the Game Theory subreddit. We went over this. It's the missing 9 kids in Security Breach. 1 is a family of 3, 7 were kids. So one of that family of 3 is a kid, and then there's another 6 kids overall. One could be Gregory. That is in, I want to say that is, there's 2 possibilities with the final kid, and I'll go over that. So what I have said here is we know the bad ending for Gregory has a newspaper with 9 missing kids or missing people on them. These 9 seem to be 7 kids and 2 adults. When you're in the Afton family room next to the sewers, there's a hand-drawn faces. 2 of these stand out, and that is this picture right here, which I believe is this one right here. I've blown it up. You can see on the right there is 7 faces. On the left there are 3 faces, and the 2 faces that are bigger plus what looks like a third smaller one, which I would believe is a kid. I would believe you have a father, a mother, and a kid, and saying they're happy. Right? They're happy. They're a family. They're whole. They're together. And then you have another one here. It's kind of hard to see, but you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7th one is a little bit more faded than the rest. It's kind of hard to see unless you're right in the game to really see it. And this is where I'm saying, well, these are the 7 kids. This girl was part of these 7 kids, and her whole family was down there. There's some of these photos that say grown-ups only, and here we got grown-ups only, happy, we've got happy birthday. There's a few things here I just don't understand, like the sky. I don't understand why this would be there. There's also another one here right in the middle of it by itself is "This is my home, leave," and I don't know what that signifies or what that goes towards, if that's Vanny, if that's the original FNAF kids that were taken over by the animatronics, or if that is Gregory saying that. I'm not entirely sure what that is about, but that is a very interesting, and I think in itself could be its own theory. There's also, what is this, happy love, a few balloons and what looks like candy. Ultimately, there isn't a whole lot in these photos except for those. We have another one here with the 7 kids that are drawn there, and you can see that they're kind of a little bit more clearer than the other one that I had there. So what am I talking about originally? It comes down to this photo I've taken here. This is all the way down in the sewers. I had to actually glitch my way to get back down in this spot. So if you don't see this on your first playthrough, you may just miss it. This is all the way down in the sewers right after you put Chica through the trash compactor. This is right at the first generator site or map, you want to call it. In a back corner, they have this string of lights, these rope lights sort of, that's lighting up the place in pink. You have the pink Chica plushie, which I believe is to symbolize that there was a girl here. And at the same time, you have a pair of shoes that the girl would have worn. Now, what's really odd about this one is the fact that you have a full pizza. You have a few of these notes here. This one here in blue The teal color actually is a reference to the number 7, and I know in the fandom there's something to do with the number 7. I don't know the full detail there. And then over here is another one of these binary codes, and there has been 2 of these binary codes in all the notes that were found, and they both have 2 different meanings. One is what is I, and the other one is hide. I would guess this one says hide. It's cut off, so I can't see the entire thing because of the grading there. Now, the little bits that you see here, that is on here, this is actually blood soaked. When you get into the game, you can see it a lot more clearer than just the screen grab that I've done here. These are blood soaked right into them. It looks like blood has been spread out around here. Now, why do I think this is a family of 3? It is these 3 cups right here. These are special. If you ever been to an amusement park lately, you can get these commemorative mugs for the park. Usually you get free refills. They're actually, in a lot of cases, they're worth the value. You pay like $10 and then you get this mug or this cup that you can continuously refill throughout the whole time you're in the park. So there's 3 of them here. There wouldn't be a reason to have 3 of them here unless there was 3 people here. A lot of people say, oh, maybe it's a thirsty kid. No, this is a thing that they would have done straight through and through. This is something that would have been there in the first place. And the reason why there's 3 here is to signify that this was the family. So you got your mom, you got your dad, and the daughter. The other thing that I'd like to point out here is you do have another cup here, right? And a plate. This 4th cup, I believe, is whoever took them. I believe this may lead more towards who took them or who was maybe taking care of them at the same time. There's also a Chica mask here with a one of the ice creams that you've seen spread out throughout the whole game that seems to be a novelty for kids to have. So this is where I believe this is a family of 3 that was taken. This is where they disappeared from or were living for a little bit. When I originally passed through this, I honestly thought this was a shrine to Chica or something like that. I thought someone had an infatuation with the robot, and that's what my first glance here was. But ultimately, I think this is telling that there was a family of 3 that went missing. Now, what of the other missing people or kids in this matter? This is a screenshot that I got from between Fazbear and Roxy Raceway. It's right near the gate that you open up with once you get Monty's claws. There's a shortcut that you can go between the 2. And this is just something that just stood out. It didn't really pop out at me until I was really looking for this thing in the game. This was something that was easily overlooked very early on in the game. You just kind of look at it and go, okay, well, whatever. There's a doll there, a mask, there's a shoe. It kind of looks like, because of how this was situated towards the gating system there, that if this kid was nabbed, he would have went through that gate and gone. Like, this goes into the depths of the game. The next one I have here is up in Fazbear in the girls' bathroom. You have the same sort of thing. I remember when I was going through this originally, I was in the bathroom and I turned to my chat. Like, we live streamed the entire thing. I turned to my chat and said, isn't this strange? Isn't this something that should be of note? I don't understand why there would be a doll here, a shoe, and then the candy and the little things here. This was something that stood out to me, and this is the original one that pointed me, wait a second, maybe I should look deeper into this, because I think this is all connected, because I've seen a few of these around. This one is underneath the pirate ship in the Kids Cove area. Once again, you've got the shoe, you got a Roxy, you got some candy. It looks like they were watching TV. They're off to the other side, there's almost like a bedded sort of area. This one here, I think the kid was maybe here a lot longer, and then they found him here and disappeared from here. Another one, this one's not as obvious. This is up in Fazcade in the janitor closet. And this is the marionette puppet, I believe. And there's a single shoe. I think this would have been, because it's in the boys' bathroom, there wouldn't have been as much there. But I believe this is one of the other kids that disappeared. And then finally, this one is one of the most violent out of them all. You can see the door has half been ripped off its hinge. The lock has been completely destroyed. You see the doll there, and this is in the girl's bathroom. So once again, I believe this was a kid that went missing. So right now we have, I'm theorizing 9 missing people. We have the 2 kids and the 1 kid and the 2 parents. And then number 4 is between Roxy Raceway and Fazbear. 5 is Fazbear. 6 is the pirate ship. This is number 7, right? Is that right? I don't think that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is where I'm at. So this is 8. And then the 9th would be, if people want to guess this, could be Gregory. I have another theory on that. There is the possibility that Bonnie was trying to get a kid out, or this was the kid that Bonnie was trying to get out. So there could be 9, maybe 10. But if the kid did escape, there wouldn't have been a 10th one reported because he would have been reported found. So this still goes back, there is 9 ultimately. From, like, Gregory is either part of the missing or he's not. And the 9th one that's missing is the one that got out and then got captured. That's the way it could come down easily. Gregory is the easy way to label the 9th missing kid. But like I said, he's not on anyone's rosters, so how would anyone know to look for him? It's a loose end in the lore, sort of, in that sense. Now, if this was Bonnie's kid that Bonnie was trying to get out, we have the message earlier on where it gave a timestamp, and the final timestamp said was Bonnie went to mini golf, went to Monty's mini golf course, and then that was it. They don't list anything else. So the thought is maybe Bonnie fell down from the hole-in-one hurricane and was destroyed that way, and then Monty would have found the kid, ripped open the door, and dragged the kid away. In this sense, with that lock, the way it's destroyed, there's some significant damage there. It's not like you've got 3 claws, but you sort of do, because it would be like he reached in with his claws and scraped it out and pulled it open, and then that would have knocked it off, half off its hinge, and then taken the little child that would have been there. So ultimately, where did we go? Where do these kids go? What did they need these kids for? Ultimately, there was 7 kids, 2 adults. These 7 kids maybe were fed to the blob in the very bottom, the molten Freddy in the very bottom of the world in this game. They maybe possessed other animatronics. There's thoughts that you have DJ Music Man and the 1 or 2 little miniature versions of Music Man could have been where the souls went with the remnant and everything. Could they have possess certain staff bots? There is a ton of staff bots that just sit there lifeless, staring at you. And we've come across a few of them, and trying to play around with them, they don't really do much. One of them it created a glitch for me that kept spawning Chica, which was very odd in itself, and honestly I think was a full-on glitch. But where these kids went, I don't know. You guys tell me. Where did they go? Did the blob take them? Did Vanny take them? Did Afton try and sacrifice them? Did they make new animatronics? I don't know. That's not for me to know. I just am here presenting the information on this one, as I do with certain things, certain topics that I find. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Proud Canadian Phoenix signing off. Have yourselves a great day, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share this one out there. Bye.